Okay, so I feel that the first movements that throwers make when they're on the mound are the most critical. A lot can be determined by their ability to know how to create direction down the mound and put their hips in good positions. A lot of times players have a hard time recovering if the beginning does not work. So I think about this in back leg positioning and creating direction, and this is how I feel it. So I'll feel it with a full leg kick first, where I'm getting just to the bottom of my leg kick. So I could even get like a little bit closer. Now I'm trying to hit the wall and peak my leg kick simultaneously. Okay, so this is good for breaking down different parts of the lift. Okay, from behind, I don't want to see things going this way. My weight should be right in the center. I have other drills on my YouTube channel titled Wall Drill Part 2 and Part 3. It's under playlists, and I discuss how the body moves along the wall in this fashion, so you can go ahead and check that out. My YouTube channel under playlists. So I need to assume that I'm always moving this way as I go through there. A lot of kids will want to get into their quad. Their knee will start creeping past their toe. A little bit of that is fine, but it needs to be countered with the hip. So I'm simply going into the top of my leg kick and peaking my leg kick at the same time that my left butt cheek is hitting the wall. Okay, so I can do that from there. I can also do that from a slide step. Now, I want to create a connection between the full leg kick and a slide step. So I'm going to get an inch farther away from the wall, go back into my full leg kick, and I'm going to kick out of it. So I'm expressing this position. I still have this center of balance from this way. Okay, talked about being here. And now my hip is loaded. Okay, a lot of kids will go like this. They load into the quad, the knee goes past the toe, and they start internally rotating the hips. Their hips start doing this. Their body position starts doing this. All I'm doing right now is getting my back leg ready, my back hip loaded. I would prefer kids to feel this in their heel as opposed to the ball of their foot, but ideally I'm going into the center of my back foot. So you'll notice if I go to the top of my leg kick and kick into this position is nearly identical to when I'm slide stepping. And that's a connection that I have because I know it should happen like that, and it's simple for me. And a lot of kids look very different in those positions. So we want them to recognize that these two, with a runner on first base, I want to be able to feel identical to this. So whether I go wind up or not, I can go wind up and do this same exact thing and try to achieve these same positions. So this is just a resource for me to stop myself in these positions. I could take it even further. I could go 2 to 3 inches farther out of the wall. I go into it. That's why this padding helps me. Don't have your kids do this home on sheetrock. But really, even just like solid walls, this isn't comfortable to do. So having something that you can cushion is very helpful. So yes, I can take myself further down. Now my lead leg is going to start to be coming out, but I'm still maintaining this sense of strength and centeredness in my back leg. There is still that externally rotated position. You're not going to want to see this. External is just rotating that way. Internal is rotating this way. And I'm achieving some level of external rotation in my hip, knee, and ankle. You'll even see my foot want to come out like that. I don't want that to happen, but that's where the torque is happening. I'm screwing in my back foot as I'm getting down the mound. So I went over full leg kick. How do I get into it, out of it? The last piece is that players have a tendency to just flop onto the wall. So I have a purpose in doing this. I recognize where I'm trying to stop myself, and I have the ability to connect that to being in motion, right? So when I'm actually moving, do I still feel these same positions? And for me, it's yes, but for players first doing this, they won't be able to do that connection. So this needs to be something that it doesn't need to be more than 2 minutes of just 2 minutes of wall drill stuff, but it needs to be consistent and over time. So the last piece that I add to this to make it feel more realistic is I give them a glove tap. Okay, that just establishes a sense of rhythm. This is something that I do in pitching. I suggest glove taps for games of catch, when I'm shuffling my feet. I really love it for establishing timing and giving them a sense of rhythm. And a lot of young players struggle with this. They don't understand the concept of getting connected, getting everything to work in sync. So for me, this feels almost automatic. Even when I throw BP, I'm going to glove tap to throw. You'll see infielders glove tap to establish a sense of rhythm. So it's not far-fetched. I just faced a pitcher yesterday, St. Thomas pitcher. I coach at Hamline University, and we were facing St. Thomas. Their pitcher went into his glove and just a little bit of a tap to establish rhythm. You see it all over. So anyway, I would do those things then with a tap. Where at the top of my leg kick, my hands are coming together. Now I get to the bottom of my leg kick, you'll start seeing separation happening. But a lot of kids will already be here in their actual motion. This is all I want to be. I'm waiting with my upper half. I get a little bit farther away. I achieve that same position. Now you might see a little bit more separation. Most youth athletes in this position, when they are in motion, are already here. They haven't gone anywhere. The upper half does not need to load until I'm way closer to front foot strike, until I'm 3/4 of the way through my stride. A lot of kids load their upper half way too soon. So this might be, if you have kids that are more comfortable with this and starting to understand that and connect the dots of what happens first, then you can start describing, hey, notice that your upper half hasn't done anything. That's not what I would do to lead with this drill, but if you have somebody doing this over a period of time, you might start adding the concept of, hey, can you pay attention to what your upper half isn't doing? It can't do anything because of the wall here, and thus it's going to be in this position. And then can they connect the dot between, okay, when I'm actually moving down the mound, it's not, and then fall in stride, right? I have to wait to get down the mound before my upper half gets loaded. So I use this pretty frequently to just give them a sense of feeling. Trust me, many kids don't do this enough to recognize why this is purposeful and why this is helpful. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Feel free to email me questions at cksoda@gmail.com regarding this or any of my other videos.